Hey y'all, it's the middle of August, which means if you've got Salvia Greggii or autumn sage, it is probably not looking very pretty right now. So let's get pruning. So this is one of my oldest and largest autumn sages. It is probably about, I don't know, 7 to 8 feet wide and maybe 40 inches tall on those tallest spikes. Normally is covered in pink flowers, but it's August 15th. It's a little dried out. You can see I've got a ton of spent flower stems on the top. So this old guy needs a prune, and I'm going to show you the best way to prune your Salvia Greggii from my experience having this one for I would say at least a decade. I don't know, it may be longer. First thing you want to do is you want to look into kind of the center of your plant and find those open woody stems. So right here you can see I've got one. This has a stem that is probably 3/4 of an inch wide, and we want to take this back almost all the way to the base, or as far as we can get it. You can see it doesn't have any new growth on it for the first couple of feet, and then even the branches that are coming off of it, like this one, it's got a whole foot where it doesn't have anything, and then it's got some stuff at the end. So this just needs to come out, and this is going to be pretty significant. When I take this out, it's going to leave a pretty decent gap in my plant, but that's okay because I know this will come back and it'll look a lot better. General rule of thumb is, well, if it's bigger than your thumb, cut it off. But really, if it's bigger than a pencil, then you want to trim it off. So, and we're not talking about these kind of like these are nice and thin. Once we're getting to here, this is a little iffy. You can go a little bit further down and see that it's pretty bare. And then when I get even further into the plant, sorry, this is kind of a Where's Waldo. I know you can't see my hand, but when I get further into the plant, you can see this is a big naked stem. So we're going to take it all the way back. We're going to give this guy a hard prune today. So I'm just going to set up the camera. Let me step back so you can see it right now, and then we can get a good before and after. He's going to get chopped up. So let's go. We've got most of the big stuff. So now we're going to go in and clean it up just a little bit. It's a little sad looking right now. That's okay, because we know it's going to come back. And I skipped my winter prune on this guy, so he definitely needs it. Normally I'd be wearing gloves, but it's early in the morning, and I kind of, to be honest, decided to do this on a whim. So I grabbed my clippers and came out here without a whole lot of preparation. So here we are. You know what? Now that I've kind of gotten into it, I might just take this whole thing down and just let it start from scratch, because it is really woody in here. You know, over here, I'm gonna get my camera so y'all can see what I'm looking at. Okay, so I've got my original plant right here. You can see the base of it, and it's got this stem coming off of it that has been, I followed along, it's been buried under the leaves and mulch, and it has started rooting. So I have a whole new plant right here. And you can see it's got its own root base. That's why this plant has looked so big. So I don't necessarily want two of these right here. So what I can do is I can pull this out or dig it out with a shovel, and I can go pop this somewhere else. So I think I'm going to try that. Look at that. Whole new plant. Gotta find somewhere to put this guy. And how that happens is when you have a root that touches the ground, not all plants will do it, but a lot of these woody plants will do it. Like normally if you're going to propagate and you are always looking for the node to put into your dirt, if you're propagating something, it's basically what happens. It's natural propagation. So it is putting a node into the dirt, and then that node is rooting. And if you're doing this on purpose, they call it air layering. It's a technique that people use when they are propagating plants. People do it a lot with houseplants, but you can do it outside as well. I've actually got a, oh look, here's another one. I've actually got a stand of, sorry, gotta think while I'm tugging. I've got a stand of Turk's cap. Look at that. That I buried a couple of stems because I want to propagate it. Look at that. Here's some old, oh, this is turning into a bigger project than I planned. I've got some old weed fabric in here. So I'm probably going to come out. I'm not going to do this right now. Well, maybe I'll do a little bit of it. I'm going to come up and unbury that weed fabric. But first I want to get this done. All right. So we are looking pretty good in the hood. I know you're thinking, what do you mean you look good? You look like a hot mess. But in terms of what I wanted to do, this is kind of the goal. Obviously I've got a ton of leaf litter under here. So I'm gonna have to come out with my rake. Oh look, here's another one. I'm gonna have to come out here with my rake and do some more cleanup because my 5-minute project has now turned into something much bigger that I wasn't planning on. All right, so we are looking pretty good. I know it looks like a hot mess, but our goal today was prune. I didn't realize I was going to be pruning this much because I didn't realize how many extra plants had propagated out here. But this is what I like to do this time of year when it's too hot, is I'll, in the morning or in the evening, I'll work on something for 10 or 15 minutes and then kind of make a plan of what else I need to do. And today we might actually get some rain today. So, but this is giving me a good idea of what else I need to do out here. And now my drift rose, I don't know if that's in the frame. There we go. My drift rose. It was so pretty a couple weeks ago. And now it's getting some more new blooms on it. But no one could see it from the road because it was being covered up by that salvia. Okay, so this is the current result of my pruning. I'm going to get over from the side. I'm going to do a before and after. We went from humongous to nothing. Got a ton of stuff I'm going to put in the compost bin. And then I've got 3 different salvia plants that I can put somewhere else or pot up and see if any of my neighbors want them. I got to do that real quick before they dry out. But if anything roots well, it's easiest to dig up and propagate is the Salvia Greggii. I can't tell you how many of these I've dug up and moved or given away. Here's a bonus tip for you. If you do what I did and you pull something up without planning for it, and you're really not in the mood to plant it right away, just get a tub or a bucket or something, fill it with water. Just go ahead and stick it right in there, and it'll give you a couple of days before you need to deal with it. Okay, y'all, so my 5-minute pruning project turned into total carnage for my poor autumn sage, but it's going to be good. We're going to get the plants that I found, those little offshoots, we're going to get those potted up. We're going to come out, we're going to clean up the mess we made, and I found that leaf barrier, so we're going to get that pulled up too. So every project leads to the next one, right? See you next time.